Are you a procrastinator? Do this to never procrastinate again. Hi, I'm Dr. Loretta, and today I'll be talking to you about procrastination. I'll be talking to you about what procrastination is, tips to stop procrastinating and get doing. Procrastination is the act of delaying or postponing something. Usually people procrastinate because they are using procrastination as an avoidance tool. They're trying to avoid painful emotions that comes from doing the activity. On the other hand, you see people procrastinate because of their perfectionist type of personality. They're waiting for the right moment. They're waiting for the perfect time to do it. They're waiting for the perfect situation, the perfect scenario. They're waiting for when they are able to master the art of doing that task before they actually get into doing that task. But what ends up happening is that they end up procrastinating and never accomplishing that task, or waiting till last minute where they are scrambling and filled with a lot of anxiety trying to accomplish that task. For those who use procrastination as an avoidance tool, what ends up happening is that they're avoiding the discomfort that comes with jumping on that task in the moment. But what ends up happening is that they end up compounding their problems. And today I'll be sharing with you 14 tips to stop procrastinating and get doing. Tip number 1, have a daily to-do list. Before you kickstart your day, ensure that you have a to-do list. One of the things I encourage people is that you write out your to-do list and start with the more demanding task and down to the littlest task. And when you're trying to accomplish those tasks, you start from the bigger task. But ensure that there's a visualization of your to-do items for the day by writing it down and having it handy so that you're able to see what you have going on in a day, and you're able to prioritize and check off your task as you accomplish them. Because one of the other things that can happen is that you might tend to forget that you have this task to do if it's not written down somewhere to serve as a reminder for you or to you that you need to accomplish this task. Tip number 2, properly label your task. Label your task in order of priority. Label your task in hierarchy of want and need. I always encourage, for number 1, you state your need. Number 2, you state your want. Number 3, you state your need. Number 4, you state your want. The benefit of ordering your task this way is that when you do a need, because need means it needs to get done, when you accomplish that need, and sometimes the things you need to do are not necessarily satisfying to you as a person, but they need to get done. So you do that need and you satisfy or compensate and console yourself with your want. And then you do another need and console yourself with another want, or reward yourself with another want. What ends up happening is that for that want that you're anticipating, you knock out this need quickly in anticipation of that want, and you keep going on and on and on and on in that order. Tip number 3, break down your task into smaller bits. If you're yet to watch my video on SMART goals, the link is in the description below. Please ensure to click that link and watch SMART goals to help you understand how to break down your task into smaller pieces. When tasks seem overwhelming, it's much more easier to procrastinate and put them off versus if you break them down into smaller bits. Say for someone who's trying to lose 50 pounds, saying that you're going to lose 50 pounds can seem almost impossible. But when you break it down to losing a pound a week or a pound a month, however you want to do it, it seems less intimidating to you when that task is broken down into smaller bits and pieces and much more easily accomplishable. It's just like biting more than what you can chew. But when you bite that apple in little pieces, you're able to chew it better and you're preventing a choking hazard from happening. That's the same way breaking down your task into smaller tasks or into smaller bits help you be able to accomplish that task more effectively without feeling overwhelmed or choked by that task. Step number 4, journaling. I always encourage people to write. Writing has its benefit on your mental health and your ability to get rid of some uncomfortable thoughts and emotions. Journal, write down why you're struggling with accomplishing that task, why you feel the need to push that task back or procrastinate at that point in time. Write down your feelings in relation to that task. Tip number 5, minimize or avoid distractions. When there's so much distractions in and around you, it makes it hard for you to focus and get a task that needs to be accomplished. Some of those distractions can be in the form of friends. You have a task to accomplish, but you have friends who want to hang out, who are hanging out with you, and they're distracting you for accomplishing that task. Minimizing distraction can be in the form of social media. You have a huge project to accomplish. Put your phone on silent. Turn off your phone. Disable that social media app, be it Instagram, be it YouTube, whatever it is. Disable it in the moment while you're trying to accomplish that task. Because guess what? While you're working on that task, that beep from the notification on your phone can be a distraction to you. That phone call in the middle of working on that task can be a distraction to you that can derail you from that activity that you were doing. And before you know it, you've been on your phone for an hour and now you haven't accomplished the task that you were working on. Tip number 6, visioning. If you can think it, you can do it. And one of the ways to put that task in the forefront of your mind is creating an image of that task everywhere you go. Here's what I mean. So say, for instance, you're trying to lose weight. How about you follow personal trainers on Instagram, follow personal training or exercise pages on YouTube, so that every time you open your social media, in your face, in your space, you're seeing that weight loss picture, you're seeing that exercise picture, you're seeing that exercise video, you're seeing that person who has the body that you're aiming for, you're seeing those things. Other ways of visioning is save a picture of that thing as your screensaver on your phone, on your desktop. Print a picture of it and have it on your vanity in your bathroom. Stick it on your refrigerator. Put it on the headboard of your bed. If you notice, I'm listing strategic positions that you always will come across every step of your day. I'll give you an example of my visioning. My goal is to drink extensive amount of water and make sure I drink a minimum of 1 gallon of water a day. So do you know what I did? I bought a gallon of water bottle, and everywhere I go, I have this bottle with me. It is my constant reminder to drink. I have this bottle right in front of me on my desk every day at my work. It is my reminder to drink. I set reminders on my phone. I set calendar reminders. These are ways that you can vision and put that thing in your face and in your space. Tip number 7, artificial deadline. Here's what I mean by artificial deadline. One of the things I do a lot is because I used to always be in the habit of being late to activities or events. I started setting my reminder 15 or 30 minutes before the actual time of that event, so that even when I feel like I'm running behind schedule or I'm late, I'm actually not really late, because I set a false deadline than the actual deadline that I needed to have that task accomplished. So if I have schoolwork to do and it's due Sunday, I set my calendar reminder to tell me that it's due Saturday. That way I'm working like it's due Saturday, meanwhile it's due Sunday, and I'm able to get that task accomplished promptly. Tip number 8, intentionality. I cannot overemphasize the need to be intentional in getting your activities, in getting your task done and completed. Be intentional about setting not just a plan A, but setting a plan B, a plan C, a plan D. Here's what I mean. If your goal is to work out and you only set your goal to go into the gym and you don't have a plan B, now it's raining. Say you're not mobile or for whatever reason there's bad weather and you couldn't drive to the gym. Now you've gone that day without working out. But if your plan B is, if I'm unable to go to the gym, I'll just do a lap around my neighborhood. I'll just walk up and down my stairs, plan B, plan C. I'll just play a YouTube video and do workout in my basement, in my living room, in my bed, wherever it is, in my bedroom, at my backyard. But you've been intentional about setting multiple plans that if one plan seems to fail, you can always bank on plan B. 9, establishing accountability mechanism. Accountability mechanism can be in the form of friends and loved ones that always remind you of this goal that you want to accomplish. It can be a spouse who is helping hold you accountable. It can be in form of your calendar reminders, your alarms, or set accountability mechanisms to hold you accountable to getting that task accomplished. Tip 10, rip the band-aid. Most times when we're trying to get a band-aid and you're going slower, you're still feeling the pain, but it's taking much longer. You're getting to feel the pain even more as you're going slow. Sometimes you just pull that band-aid off. And pulling the band-aid off in this instance of procrastination is just get doing. Even when you do not feel like it, get doing. Do not sit and wait until you are motivated. Do not put thoughts to it, because I promise you, the more you try to put thoughts to it, the more you come up with 101 reasons why you cannot or you should not be doing that task at that point in time. But instead of thinking about it, jump in and get doing. Tip 11, reward yourself. Take a break where needed. Reward yourself in the sense of, if I work out for 30 minutes, I will binge watch my show for 30 minutes. If I study my book for 1 hour, I will be on social media for 30 minutes. If I read my book for 1 hour, I will hang out with my friends for 10 minutes. Whatever that looks like. If I read my book for 30 minutes, I'll play my video game for 30 minutes. But reward yourself. Take a break where needed. Even though we do not want you to procrastinate and we want you to jump in and get doing, we also do not want you to burn yourself or overwork yourself or stress yourself out. 12, find what works for you. I've given you multiple tips of how to avoid procrastination, but all of these tips are not going to work for everybody. Find among the list of tips that I've given you what will work for you. Find what will work for you and stick to what works for you. 13, forgive yourself. Most especially if you're someone who's been a chronic procrastinator. All of these tips that I've given you does not mean that you'll be able to jump into it and consistently continue to maintain it. You might have moments of weakness. You might have moments of relapse, and that's okay. Learn to forgive yourself, dust yourself off, and get back on the bandwagon instead of beating yourself down and sitting in that pain or judging yourself for falling through and not following through. Last but not the least, repeat this all over again. When you've made your to-do list, label your task properly, broken down your task into smaller bits, journaled, minimize distraction, visioning, intentionality, establish accountability mechanism, rip the band-aid off, rewarded yourself and taking a break, found what works for you, forgive yourself, do it again. Consistency is the key. Consistency is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. So do this over and over again until you master the art of avoiding procrastination. I hope this was beneficial to you. And if you're yet to, please like, subscribe to my channel, and share with other people so that they can join us in this journey of wellness. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much. Bye.